Maddie Smith here with another episode of the Madhouse podcast. We have a pretty good guest today. And he goes by the name of Mike Feeney. You might know Mike from his, various podcasts, his stand-up. He's got a special on YouTube called Rage Against the Routine. And we shoot the shit. We talk about shit talking and comedy. We name some names. I don't know yet if I'm going to bleep them out because I always get nervous on Tuesday night before these come out, as you know, and I'd be saying, hey, walk it back, okay? Walk it back. But you guys stay tuned for that. The Bad Genes tour is up and running. Dates are being added. So in, the next year, I'm coming to Fort Worth. We added Burlington, Vermont, Batavia, Illinois, and many, many others. So check out MaddySmithComedy.com. I'm coming to Providence, Rhode Island, Boston, Atlanta, Georgia, Spokane, Washington, Tacoma, and many, many more. Also performing at New York Comedy Club for the New York Comedy Festival. That will be in November. So check out my website, MaddySmithComedy.com, to grab your tickets now. We've been having such a wonderful time. Merch is being sold, flying off the racks at the shows. So come out to a show. I know we're in a recession, but your girl is still very affordable. So check it out. Drop a comment, drop us a like, tell us what you're eating for breakfast, and let's get in with Mike Feeney.
Now he's holding my license and he goes, Michael, can you confirm the month and date of your birth? I go, yeah, sure, it's December 10th. And he goes, December 10th? And you know when a police officer says the thing that you just said back to you and you just lose all confidence in your answers? That's what happened to me. I was like, I don't know, could be July 19th. Who knows? I thought that was my birthday, but I've never been sure of anything less. So, would love to change it to whatever you think the answer is, sir. Can I call a friend? I don't know. I'm panicking. And he's like, well, I'm asking you this because you have a failure to appear in court for another speeding ticket you got. So why don't you tell us about that? And I was like, oh, I don't know. It's the first time I'm hearing about it. He goes, really? Really? You know nothing about that? Really? And I go, no, I swear to God. He's like, you're telling me that the computer is lying to me? Like, he starts screaming at me. I turn into Kermit the Frog. I'm like, ah! My arms are shaking. I'm wiggling. I don't know what I'm doing. He's like, really? You know nothing about that? It's because I'm messing with you. Have a good night. And then hands me back.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Madhouse. I'm joined today by a legend in the making. Already made, continue to be made. Yeah. Stand-up podcaster.
Wow.
Former Guest Digital podcast.
Yep.
And now just on indie.
Yeah,
indie,
yeah.
right?
I went solo projects.
Yeah,
you know,
with huge shift.
Feels like things really took off for me right after that.
Exploded. And a real lesson to just doing things yourself.
Yeah.
We got Mike Feeney in the building.
Hi, what's up, everybody?
What's up?
Glad to be here. This is my camera. Hey, how are you?
Yeah, right there.
There we go.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Feeney and Maddy sitting on the couch. It's a Wednesday, a little brisk fall day.
Yeah, brisk outside, about 83 in here comfortably.
Yeah, we like
to
keep it like a nursing home.
Yeah.
We want to make sure everyone still lives.
Yeah.
And it actually starts growing mold.
Dude, I was just in Fort Worth and the AC wasn't working the entire weekend, and you're like,
Jesus.
It's the one time where on like Saturday they were like, oh, it's gonna be like a great turnouts, and it's one of those things where you go, because you know that it's going to be, that first show is going to be so hot, and then the second show, there's not going to be enough time to get all the hot air out of the room before they reload it in. The second show was one of those shows where, like, I should have had, like, the sweat rag dabbing my face on stage. And, like, just,
now you're a black comedian.
Just me, just a black, on the uptown, just being like, and another thing, but it was so hot.
Dude, it's like, you can't perform.
It's and by the way,
there's nothing worse when you're on stage and when you look out into the audience and you just see this.
I know. Yep.
It just because
People
that's all that's on
fanning
their
themselves.
mind.
I
They're
know.
distracted. They're miserable. It's very few things you need for a successful comedy club and comedy show, and it's just a working microphone, a working light, and air conditioning. You know,
Yes.
it's got to be cold,
It gotta be.
freezing. I would say.
I would say
love
freezing.
if it's freezing.
Yep, you got because they're gonna cook.
Yes.
They're gonna cook when they start laughing.
Yeah, all the hot ha-ha-ha's being put out into the air.
Now let me ask you this: do you get hot on stage normally? Like if it's a cold room? Because I cook up there.
I'm not. I'll always be. I mean, I'm like running around a lot like a maniac, but I'm not like a profuse sweater type of a guy. I'll get hot, but I always end up wearing like a sweatshirt or a jacket or something on stage, if for no other reason than to just clip a like mic onto me or whatever.
Yeah.
And any of that will always make me. I mean, I wore a jacket the second show because again I had nowhere to put the mic, and I was pouring. I mean, by the time I got
Drenched.
off stage, people were like, "Oh, let's take pictures." I'm like, I don't know if you want to get this close.
I know
to
my
me.
hair will be
It's
soaked.
yeah, that's the thing. Like my hair starts like flopping down in my face.
Yeah.
It's like, and the crowd work clips are like unusable because it looks like I'm like going through a drug withdrawal. I'm just like poor. I'm like clammy and my hair's all in front of my
Sorry
face.
guys, I couldn't get my oxys this week, so I'm withdrawing. Yeah.
I have like 90s like actor vintage hair, you know, like that swoop over.
Yep. Boy Meets World.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
real
yeah.
Now Mr. Feeney.
Mr. Feeney, yeah. I'm just living his actual life.
Yeah,
You know?
I know. So what's up? You're touring a lot.
Yeah, I've been on the road, and you know, it's just you know what it's like on the road.
Yes, I do.
It's a beautiful hell, I guess. You know, because you go to some of these cities. That's the beautiful part about it. You go, oh, I'm going to go to all these cities I would never in my life
Ever
choose to travel to, and some of them are like, oh, this is like I felt like when I went to Grand Rapids, I was like, oh, this is a nice city. Yeah, like again, like. It's like a clean, good, you know, it's okay. And then, you know, or you go to Dallas and Fort Worth and you're like, probably never again. You know, like you're just like, as a city. You're just like, we didn't connect very well.
Totally know what you mean.
But yeah, there's just certain cities where you go, this is, I'm excited to get back on that first flight out on Sunday.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The minute I land, I'm like, I cannot wait to leave.
It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I feel like it's the road is fun and awful at the same time.
Yeah.
But then I feel like when my family's like, your travel is too much, I defend my career.
Sure.
The same way if someone makes fun of your sibling.
Right.
Only
yes.
I can.
Only
Only
you
I can say it sucks.
Yeah, and I want like the other thing that I think comes from that makes it more stressful is in a place where like I'm not adding shows. You know what I'm saying? So there's always the thing of like, what's the ticket count at? And then being like, hey, can you push this? Like this show's like Saturday early is looking good. Like Friday late looks light. Can you do something there? And you're just like, oh my God. Like it's that thing of you're just constantly promoting. And then you end up every time it's like you get to the show and there's way more than you ever think is going to be there. And you go, oh, why the hell was I stressed
every week.
The whole time.
Monday to Thursday.
And then the times that you're like, this is going to probably sell out, and you get there, and they're like, there's like...
Half full.
Yeah.
I'm a loser.
Well, I also had the thing in Fort Worth on Friday. There was like this rainstorm that came through, and I didn't know that in Dallas and Fort Worth, when it rains, like, the whole city shuts down.
The whole state.
Like, everyone stops. They, like, shelter in place. And so we had... The tickets, like half the amount of people who bought tickets showed up because they were just like
that's actually fire though.
I know. Well, then the people who were there were like dripping wet, soaking wet. But it's that thing of like, I mean, you all drive pickup trucks, you all drive like off road.
You act like you're so tough.
Yeah, and then rain. I would almost get if it's like snow, but you're like, you have the capability.
Rain is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm from Buffalo, so I don't really get I don't understand the weather aversion and the changing of plans based on weather.
That's why like Buffalo and all those are actually like great for comedies in the winter because they're like we'll come out and we obviously want to be indoors, you know, because we'll die. So that's I think. But the summers are awful because people are like, this is the 2 months of the year that it's nice out. We're gonna be outside.
Every time I get booked in Buffalo, it's like during the summer.
Well, that's the thing, right? Don't you find that? That's the downside. That's the monkey's paw of the travel, right? Is like so. Every time, except for once, every time I've ever gone to Seattle, I always went in the winter. And you go there and it's like this miserable, bleak, cold, rainy existence. And you're like, this fucking sucks. But shows are great
Yeah.
because people are coming to town. And then one time they offered me a July gig, and I was like, you know what? Like, I want to see. Everyone's like, Seattle in July.
I
You
want to
got
go
to
to
see
the market. I want to see the salmon.
You got to
flying
see it.
in the
Yeah, you
air.
got to see it in the summer. It's the greatest. We have the sun, or whatever.
Right.
And so I was like, you know what? Let me do a July date. It's like I might not sell as many tickets, but at least I'll get to experience what Seattle in July is like. And then I went there, and it was the first time in 30 years that the All-Star game was happening in Seattle.
Yep.
It was like that weekend.
Yep.
So the entire city was just like everything was baseball.
Yeah.
And so I had to, not only did I have to sell against the summer, but I had to sell against like a once in a
Massive
generation.
event. Yeah.
Once
Basically the World's Fair.
Yeah, every 30 years.
Yeah.
And then the shows were light.
Light as fuck.
But I was like, oh, but it is kind of nice out in the summer. Yeah.
Pros and cons.
Yeah, but then you're like, no one wants to come. It's just it's hard performing when it's still bright outside.
Yes, it is.
It's
awkward.
Yeah, the early shows should start at like 8:30.
There's some of the Funny Bones they'll do 6 p.m. show on a Saturday.
Oh yeah, or like Mohegan Sun. Mohegan Sun
my
used to do
goodness.
like a 4 p.m. or something,
know.
and then on Saturday now they'll do 6 and 7:30 or
Yep.
something, and you're like, who is this for?
The only good thing about that is the shows are 75 minutes long.
Yes,
At the
and no
Mohegan
Friday late shows.
Yes.
No Friday
Yeah.
late shows is fantastic.
Yeah.
They're like, they figured it out. They're
Yeah.
like, what's the worst show of the weekend? We'll replace it with a band. Everybody wins.
Yes. You started touring like this past few years, like post-COVID, right?
I
'Cause,
was
like pre-COVID, we were doing spots around the city.
Yeah, I started doing like headlining things in probably like 2017 is when I started but a lot of those were like, shitty one-nighters and stuff like that. But it really was, I guess, and then I was still kind of featuring for bigger acts at the time. And then, I guess it was really like COVID. It was actually right when my special came out, which was the week COVID started, that everybody was like, come to Buffalo, come to Seattle. And it's like the world shut down.
I
You're
know.
like, of course.
Yeah.
That
was the Rage Against the Routine.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it turns out, here's the thing though. We have this, I don't know, I have a way of being able to like catastrophize everything, be like, just my fucking
Me
luck.
too. Yep.
But I think about this and I'm like, if the pandemic hadn't happened, I wouldn't have gotten as many views on the special because nobody had anything to do.
True.
And the world shut down and comics didn't have any like content to put out. I had a full special worth of clips to put out for like 20 something weeks. And a bunch of those went viral. And that's how I got like a big TikTok following. And that's how, like, it was weirdly, I was looking at it the wrong way for many years, I think.
Me too. I started 2020 and I had just finished Wild 'N Out. So all these episodes were going to come out in 2020. So when 2020 started, I was like, I'm the next Pete Davidson.
Yeah, this
These
is
are
how
going
it
to
happens.
come out, and then I'll start. And my plan was like, when the episodes come out, I'll start clipping out stand-up.
Sure.
So there was this whole...
Yeah, you had like a filter, a funnel.
The big plan. And then all the episodes came out while I was just inside in Queens with my ex-boyfriend, trying to make content at home.
Oh, boy, did we all struggle with that, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, I think Sagalo and I did pretty well for ourselves because we lived so close to one another that we were making like a sketch a week. The pace that and pressure we put on ourselves for no reason was completely insane, but it was a great distraction where we would every week, it was like our SNL. We would like write, produce, cast, shoot a sketch, and it wasn't just like, it could have been so much easier if it was just us on our phones making it, but we had like actual like professional like cameras.
I know. Did you guys have a delivery driver show, or was that just Sagalo?
I was in that one of his, but that one he did with Homeless Pimp and stuff. But him and I, we made like 50 sketches, and it was like 40 plus hours a week of work because then I'm like editing all of them and trying to get it out, and it's like nobody like ultimately cared about the sketches. Like there was no pressure.
Ari went to Ecuador.
If we missed a week, like nobody was like, "Where's the sketch?" Like we just thought, like, okay, if we do this every week for a year, we'll probably have a lot to show for it. And some of them, I just did Cyclo's Podcast, and we were watching some of them back. And we're like, oh wow, we forgot. Like some of these really hold up. I'm like, some of them don't, obviously, but some of them are like, oh, these are very funny. We had a good time. And we got to cast our friends in it and stuff. I feel like you were in one of them at some point.
I definitely was in a couple things.
Yeah.
But it's so hazy.
I know.
It's so hazy.
Is your memory really bad? Just in general?
I feel like it got worse when I started smoking more weed in the last few years.
Yeah.
That's what pisses me off about weed. I'm like, I really pulled back on weed in the last month because people would say, I met you and we were in a car together and I wouldn't remember,
Yeah.
and that started pissing me off.
I wonder how much of that is almost because there are certain people that can remember. They're so good with dates. They're so good with like, oh, I was 11 when this happened.
Yeah.
That was 1999 because like,
Yes.
I even like going back in my life.
Mhm.
I'm like, I was just trying to figure out with my mom the other day on the phone how old I was when my parents got divorced, and like
Okay.
neither of us. My mom also has a terrible memory.
Really?
We were like we narrowed it down to somewhere between like 98 to 2000. It's in that
What?
window. Probably 99.
So it would have been
I would
13 or
say.
something like that?
Yeah, I would have been 12. I think I was born in 87, so I
Mhm.
probably would have been like 12 or 13. I think that's when it was because I'm like I know I went to this one school and when I was at 7th grade and they were separated, maybe not like formally divorced by then. So I'm like so I'm like trying to do all this thing and then you try to bring that up with your parents and then they're just like why? Why do they get all
Oh
defensive?
my God, they're
You know
so
what I mean?
defensive.
Yeah.
So my parents, same thing. Until age 25, I can remember everything like that. So I know they got divorced when
Oh.
I was 13. It
Really?
was January, so I was 13. My birthday's in October. In January, I was in
Wow.
7th grade. I literally remember
New Year's Day.
New Year's Day. Let's start the year fresh.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
downstairs, girls. Because
Yeah.
I remember going to school the day after they told us they were separating and feeling like no one here
Wow.
knows that I'm in a broken family.
Wow.
And I remember it very specifically. I was also thinking the other day, like, there's so much I remember very specifically, but then there's stuff that I couldn't tell you.
Sure.
But I think it's if you laser in on stuff when you're younger, you're really
Yeah.
gonna remember.
I have certain like traumatic memories
Yeah.
for sure that are like lasered in, but then there's also things like people remember like you remember every one of your teachers' names from your kid.
Oh yeah,
You
a
remember
lot of them.
what was your
Yep.
2nd grade teacher's name?
Miss Solomon.
That's crazy that you just had
Yep.
that 1st grade.
First grade was I take it back. 2nd grade was Miss Kellum.
Okay.
First grade was Miss Solomon.
Nuts.
Kindergarten Miss Wynn.
You remember kindergarten?
Yeah.
You remember kindergarten?
I have stuff from my childhood but I couldn't tell you what club I was at in Chicago
Wow.
in March. You
Dude.
know, like
The earliest teacher I can remember was I think 3rd grade. I had Miss Cassandra. I remember because she would they gave out like hamsters to a lot of the kids to like we like got
Yeah.
hamsters as pets or something like
Really?
that. My mom was
For
like, "What
permanent?
the fuck?"
Like,
yeah,
oh my God.
And my mom was furious.
are
Like,
you
what?
from upstate? Where are you from?
No, Long Island.
Long
Yeah.
Island. Yes.
Long
Yes.
Island.
We're in Long Island.
Way out in Suffolk County.
Okay,
Yeah,
Suffolk.
yeah,
Hey.
631.
Let's go.
But-
Turn up.
It's like the crazy. Turn up, 631,
Turn up. Let's go, Suffolk.
Yeah, Suffolk.
Everybody gets a hamster.
Yeah. It was crazy. My family was furious. We had
Oh
to
yeah,
take care
my
of this
mom would
hamster.
say, "Fuck no."
Hamsters
Absolutely
stink.
not.
It was awful. And then, but I don't. 2nd grade, I couldn't tell you one memory from my
Right.
2nd grade year of life. Like I don't even know what age
Right.
that is. 1st grade. I remember I think I was in probably 1st or 2nd grade. I do have one memory, and again, I can't even narrow it down. But I remember some girl. This girl was like we were doing like some reading time. We were all gathered in a circle. The teacher's talking, and this girl stands up, and she's just like, "Excuse me," and the teacher's like still reading, and then she was like, "Excuse me, miss," like whatever her name was. And she's just like, I don't know what the teacher wasn't paying any attention to her. She was like, let me finish reading
Yeah,
the
fuck
page.
off, bitch.
And then the girl she just like pissed everywhere. Like she
Oh,
was
yeah,
asking
okay,
to go
yeah.
to the bathroom
Yeah.
and they wouldn't excuse
Yep,
her or
yep.
whatever. And I mean, she pissed like it was the most piss. It was just a
Most piss you
pool
ever
of
saw in
piss.
your life.
It was the most piss I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And she like stood there frozen as it was happening.
Mm.
And I remember being like, that's just so much piss.
so
like,
much
it's-
piss.
And it's such an embarrassing thing. And I don't even remember who that person was, but I can't imagine how mortified
She probably thinks about it every day
you
for
must.
the rest of her life.
Sure. And,
You know how I
and
know
hopes
that?
no one talks about it on a podcast.
And there we are.
yeah.
And the only comfort I can give her is that when I was in kindergarten, I peed on the floor.
Did you?
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
I had a lot of urinary issues.
Okay.
So I think it was story time or something.
Uh-huh.
Panicking.
Was it you? Were you in this? Were you in
It was us. Suffolk, turn up.
Yeah.
Turn up. I brought my hamster home, killed it.
Yeah.
I peed on the floor. I would wet the bed
Uh-huh.
at home. So I had a lot of pee-oriented
Sure.
stress. So
I feel like I wet the bed longer than I should have. I don't remember when it stopped, but I remember like the last time I pissed the bed being like, I'm too old to be pissed.
Me
in
too.
bed,
The last
for
time I
sure.
did, I think I was 13 or 14.
I remember like how when you were a kid and you pissed the bed and your parents would come in and they'd like help you and like you'd have like the whatever that
It was more
Jesus, what a
comforting.
catch
Oh my
that was.
God.
Whoa,
Throwing
two-fingered
iPads around.
catch.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you would have like the liner on your bed.
I had
to
a
stop.
liner.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
the plastic liner.
But I remember the last time I pissed the bed that like I woke up and cleaned everything by
Yes,
myself. Like
yep.
that's how old I was.
Yeah,
It's
your
like,
mom's like, put it in the dryer.
I went to the bathroom and was like getting towels.
Yes.
Like I was like working.
Yeah, cleaning up a crime scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the housekeeper.
For sure.
That's so. I remember that too. Yeah, I remember being like, I'm too old. My parents are actively pissed at me now.
Right.
It's not cute anymore.
No.
Get your fucking shit together, bitch.
So bad.
Yeah. But you know what helps? I never wet the bed when I got drunk later in life.
Neither did I. I never did. I never even understood people. I know a lot of kids in my college that would do that.
Yeah.
They would like piss everywhere,
Yeah.
or even just like the walk out into the living room and just piss like with their dick out at the couch,
Yep.
thinking it was a toilet.
Yep.
And I'm like, that I don't even. I mean, I have been blacked out
Mhm.
many a time, but I
Never.
never have I've always kept my
Me too.
piss in
Piss
check.
and shit in
Yeah.
check.
Yes. Never.
Vomit most of the time. I'll always got in the toilet.
Oh, yeah. I'll go in the toilet or outside.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, I've thrown up on the sidewalk like
Yeah.
a handful, and there's been like, you wake up that was clean, and you wake up the next day
Right.
and it's like splashed all over your jeans,
Yeah.
but and in your shoes because like you can't.
Yeah, while you're
always-
drunk.
Yeah,
It was great. And then it's in your hair.
I puke so many. I mean,
too.
puking when you're drunk, puking feels fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a relief.
It like comes out. All you can remember is like the toilet, and like I feel like it's so much.
There's like you
So
can't
much
open
comes
your
out.
mouth wide
Yes,
enough.
it's-
Yes, it's as wide as the circumference of your mouth that you.
It's
can
as
go.
wide.
It's a cylinder.
It's like the Family Guy when they all throw
Yeah,
up. That's what it's
yes,
like. You're like, so much stuff just came out of me.
It feels so good.
Yeah,
I
it
was
does.
just telling this to somebody, but I remember I went to my wife's. I went to my when I met my wife in college, and we went back to her hometown to do like some drinking at a house party with
Some
all
shit,
of her
yep.
friends, and so I'm trying to. It's my first time meeting them. I'm trying to like keep
Yeah,
up with
like,
them,
cool, yep.
and they were huge into Irish car bombs at the time.
Gross.
And
Love it.
I didn't even really drink beer then. I would just drink like liquor. I would just do shots and stuff. So I definitely didn't drink Guinness, and I wasn't a Jameson guy. And so they're like, let's do an Irish car bomb. So I do the first one. I choke it down, and I'm like, it's brutal, but I go like, all right, I think I got through that or whatever. And then 10 minutes later, another Irish car bomb.
Run it
So
back.
I do another one. I'm like, that was sick, guys. I'm gonna be right back. I went outside and just threw up everywhere, and then like came back in. And that's the thing too. When you throw up, you think that you can play off the fact that you just threw up, but like your eyes are always watering. You know what I mean?
Your face is all scrunched up.
You have like red, teary
Yeah.
eyes.
Pop blood vessel.
Yeah. And they're like, "Are you good?" And I go, I like literally came back in like, "What's up?" And they go, "Another Irish karma." Like they just, it was just a night of me
Yes.
drinking it, puking,
Yep,
drinking it,
yep.
puking. But puking in the morning is the worst thing
Oh,
ever.
yeah, it's the worst.
Because there's nothing there.
Doing it while you're drinking, I think it's always happened when I chug too much.
Yeah.
So if you're playing, what's that game from Beer Fest where you're pounding on the
Flip cup?
table? There's a pounding on the table and
Is it Thumper?
Thumper.
Thumper.
Yeah, you ever play that?
Remind me of
It's like
Thumper.
you bang it on the table and there's moves that you make and
Okay.
it's so same thing as you. Chugged it, went to the bathroom, threw up, came back, kept drinking. The next day I wasn't hungover
Right.
because it's just from chugging. For me,
'Cause
it's chugging all that
Well, I
at
think
once.
it's the alcohol that's not in your system metabolizing
Yes.
and dehydrating you
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So once it's out of your system, like there
Once
was
it's out,
there
yeah.
was once or twice, more than once or twice, where I was so you get the drunks, and then if you smoke a little weed, that
Yep.
just shoots you into
Game
the
over.
spins,
Yep.
And I was just in my dorm room being like, tomorrow's gonna be awful, and I don't really have to throw up. But if I do throw
Yeah.
up, that's going to save me time. And then you do the thing where you go, let me just see if I could throw up.
Mhm.
And then you go to the toilet immediately like,
Yes.
you're like, oh, that was
All
right
you gotta
there.
do-
That
all
was
you-
ready to
It
go.
was right here.
Yeah,
You just had to open the little trap door.
Yeah.
Yeah, all you got to do is pull trig.
Well, you know
the night
that
before.
You know that thing that I always call it like when you get that that hot breath when you
Oh my God,
you're gonna
yeah.
throw up.
Mhm.
Like it's like here and
Yes.
you get that little like
Yep.
bile and it's
Salivates
just
a little.
bubbling. Yeah, your mouth gets
Yeah.
like way too. You're not physically
Stop,
ready to
yeah.
admit you're gonna throw up yet.
Yeah.
You're like, no. That's the worst.
So gross, so gross, so
Yeah,
gross.
there's people who have. I'm sure there's some sort of phobia or disease of like people talking about puke that is going to make some of your listeners
Yeah,
be
people are listening.
furious
It's like the
right
equivalent
now.
of eating on a podcast.
Yeah, like,
I'm
me so
disgusted
phony.
right
Yeah,
now.
how dare you chew an apple?
Dude, I've thrown up so much while drinking. Do you drink anymore? I can't.
Yeah.
yes.
I'm going down with the ship.
Yes,
I'm
President Sagalo Cannon.
yeah. Everybody
Don't
else,
drink, right?
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
Well,
drink
they tried to
anymore.
find a new personality for themselves, so this is the new it's the new
Shade.
Yeah,
Irish
there's-
goodbye. See ya.
No. They're fine.
But I feel like you never.
but then
like-
their weed usage went.
Oh
up.
yeah, and
I
the
mean,
same
it's like-
thing happened to me too when I
But because
stopped.
that's all we're ever doing. We're just replacing
Yes.
vices. You know?
I don't want to be here sober, raw dogging the world.
So people are like, I love being so, and I get like alcohol. Here's my thing though, is that I did all of my crazy excessive drinking in college and then in my like early 20s. Now, not only post kid, but I also drive into the city a lot, so that kind of limits
Yeah.
my. It's like an automatic moderator
Yeah.
where I can be like, okay, I'm not going to be able to get crazy. And even if I take the train in, sometimes I'll have a drink or two.
Yeah.
But now with a kid, you're like, I can't risk being hungover.
You can't with a kid.
It's kind of
You
like
can't with a
everything.
kid.
Even
It's like
knocking
if
this
you
over.
knock this iPad down.
I don't even know what the iPad's there for. What is it? You got sound effects?
Wouldn't you like to know what it's there for?
Okay, well then
Wouldn't
use it more and I'll stop smashing it.
Okay, fine. I will.
But that was that audience thing was a perfect thing for the shade drop, by the way,
Yeah,
earlier. That
right,
was amazing. But I do find that, I mean, does
Sorry,
that end?
I didn't realize the cricket's awkward silence was 20 seconds long. That's my beat.
30-second thing. Put my hand over here. I don't know what we were talking about. Something about
Yeah, so
but-
drinking, and so you have a kid.
Yeah.
And I also feel like you drink, like, you'll make cocktails at home.
Yeah,
right?
I will
That's
drink
something
almost.
I could never do. Like, if
Really?
I became a mixologist,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to old fashioned at home with the orange peel, and because I would go from 0 to 60.
I'm trying
Which
to
I
think.
feel like you don't have as much if you can make cocktails
No,
at home.
I've always been a moderation guy.
Yeah.
I can't honestly remember the last time. Oh, that's not true. I can remember the last time I was drunk. I went to a concert probably a month ago, and I didn't get a chance to eat dinner, and I was
Yeah.
just drinking with the band, like on the
Oh,
tour bus.
hell yeah.
And so it's just
What?
like,
That's so fun.
yeah. You know, Bayside. They're like
no.
they're a good. But they were like playing
Yes.
with.
That's where you live.
Yeah, it is. I know, ironically. But Bayside was playing with this band, The Sleeping, and they're just, like there's like, great kick-ass rock band. And so we're just drinking, we're pounding. We had 3 or 4 beers before the show. We had 3 or 4 beers during the show. Then we have 4 or 5 beers after the show. And then they're like, we're doing dabs, It's just like, and then the whole night gets away from me. But that was more of like a hangover then. I didn't throw up. It was more just, it was like a hangover. But before that, I hadn't been drunk and I can't remember how long. Because I love, like, my wife and I'll make us like a margarita
Yeah.
with dinner, or we'll have like
Yeah.
a glass and a half of wine
Yeah.
with dinner, and that's it. Like we don't get like drunk every day.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, I never was able to be
yeah.
that moderate kind of person.
I get it. Like people like I think Sagalow's thing his problem with drinking was that he had more. I think he had more FOMO than alcoholism. Like and he would be like at New York Comedy Club and he's just like, I'm gonna go home, and then someone's like, should we stay and have another drink? And he's like, all right, because he just always wanted to like.
Sago's always 1 foot out the door, and he's like, did someone say my name?
Yeah, I'll stick around, and then
Yeah.
that turns into 4
Yes,
a.m. and then you go to
yes.
second and third
Yeah,
locations.
social, very
and that,
social.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then Cannon was always kind of like a weekend warrior. Like he wouldn't drink through the week,
Right.
and then he would go to New York Comedy Club on weekends and have like 4 double vodka sodas, and then
yep.
just get 2 black.
That's
tabs.
kinda how it was,
He had no endurance as a drinker whatsoever. He was the worst. He would be like like sloppy drunk, but he would drink a lot of volume in a short amount of
Yes,
time. Where
yeah.
like I could drink for all day,
Yeah.
but I would just drink slow.
Yes. Yeah.
Slow.
I was the high volume. That's why I would black out, because
Yeah.
I'd spike my blood alcohol.
And we've talked about this on my podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I loved when you were drinking, because you would talk. I mean, talk about throwing shade. You had no fear of talking about anybody.
I don't give a
Most of people you
fuck.
wouldn't even know was in earshot, and
Yeah.
you're just like, who the do they think they
No,
are?
literally. Like,
What are
if-
they doing at Skankfest? They
No,
stink.
And let me tell you, like if we were at a party and Caroline and Jorge were there, I would say, and Jorge
Yeah.
looks at me and goes, "Hi." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Wow,
Yeah.
wow."
Hey.
the balls.
Yeah. Brings in one solitary napkin for a fucking
Like,
giant spill on the
what?
ground here.
I'm screaming.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
screaming.
It just starts trashing.
Yeah. That's why a lot of why I had to stop is because I would notice while I'm drunk, because I still have my like sober eye coming through while I'm hammered.
Right.
You can see yourself, and you're like, "Don't do this, Maddy."
Yeah.
And I can feel myself sharing secrets with
I
people who
know.
weren't drunk, and I can see
That's
in their
the
eyes they're
worst.
collecting my information.
Yes, they're
Yes.
meta. They're meta
Yep.
right now. They're meta in Facebook, just taking all
They're
of your
they're collecting my
they're
data
to use against you
Yes,
at another point.
absolutely.
I also feel like I also, by the way, I feel like that's comedians at all times with everything, not even
1,000,000%.
alcohol.
Yep.
It's like, who can you actually? This is like like one of those drama shows where everyone's eventually backstabbing one
Yep.
another. There's so much
Yes.
comedy, and now that comedy beefs and comedy wars are in style, and like comedy
yeah.
TMZ is a thing. There's
Yep.
so much like
Yeah.
betrayal
I
and
know.
like I used to like this guy, but fuck him now.
No, it's
and-
literally Hamlet.
yeah.
I'm like, y'all need to chill.
Yeah. The only thing you can do, I think, is like mutually assured destruction, where you're like,
Yes.
you've talked so much shit about these people that if I confide in you and you spill that tea everywhere, you know that I have
Yes.
the detonator as
Yes.
well for your
Agreed.
shit, you know?
Agreed.
And that's where drinking actually is kind of helpful because it usually comes out even more
Mm-hmm.
when you're drinking. So if you spend a night drinking with Joe DeRosa at a bar, you're going to find out where all the bodies are and you're going to
Yeah.
say some shit you wouldn't want to say, but then you can trust Joe because
Yes.
you're like, Joe's
Yeah.
not going to say anything.
He's not gonna say
Yeah.
anything.
And I love him. He's such a fun person to drink with.
Totally agree. Yeah.
There's very few people that are still. That's actually why I kind of dig the Austin when I go out to Austin is because everybody
I
drinks
just saw you there too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot about that, yeah.
everybody drinks there,
Yeah.
and you're like, this reminds me of when I was early in comedy, when like everyone's at the
Yes.
bar after the show,
Yep.
and like not everyone's getting hammered. Some people just holding a beer.
Beer,
They're just hitting there, but
shooting
it's
the
like
shit.
everyone is at Mitzi's, and they're all just talking and like talking shit or talking about comedy, talking about whatever the f-
Whatever.
sport doesn't matter. But they're all just sitting there talking, and that reminded me of like Cabin or the Creek and the shit back in the days where we would all hang. And now it's like everyone comes in, does their spot, and bounces.
Everyone's got babies.
Yep.
The babies really.
Baby's really
'cause
taken to the
it
social
was
hang.
You, Cannon, not Soder, Joe List.
Yep.
Mike Racine has a couple now.
Yep.
Norman.
Yep. Norman just had
And
his
then Rosebud.
Rosebud, Casey,
Yep.
Balsham,
Now
Robbie
has two,
Slowick.
Robbie,
Yeah.
yep. So they're all, I really changes Whitney Cummings.
Whitney Cummings, of course. Now
Never
we don't
see
get
her
to hang
anymore.
as much.
I
I
never
know. Yeah. It's just, God damn
I
it,
never
Whitney.
see her.
Yeah. Even Schultz had his kid too.
Yes,
So,
yep,
yeah. But
yep,
it's,
yep, yep,
it
yep.
is so. I mean, it is obviously a huge life thing, but it's. I don't know. It still feels like there are times where I would hang if there was a hang, and there doesn't seem to really
No, I
be
don't-
a
yeah,
hang
I
in
know.
New York. Like New York's hang post-COVID never recovered.
No, agreed.
And I kind of feel like LA was that way too. We were just,
Yeah.
it's so funny. We were both in LA together, and then we were both in Austin
yeah, I
together.
keep seeing you.
It's so strange. Where are we going next?
We are going back to Fort Worth.
Okay.
Yep, we're gonna perform in that sauna.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so fun.
I'm going to Miami next week. That should
Really?
be fun. Yeah.
You doing the improv?
No, there's like the Fana Theater. It's
Okay.
like the Fana Hotel. It's like
No.
a
Is it like
buddy,
luxury?
Look up that hotel. Is it luxury?
Like a 7-star?
It's the height of luxury.
Really?
Yeah. It's like $1,500 a night.
Yeah.
Starting.
They're putting
room.
you up there?
They're putting you up there
Let's
for
go.
multiple nights.
And what are you doing? A
it's
run
very
of
cool.
shows?
I'm just doing one theater. They're doing like one theater show in their little theater there and stuff like that.
Nice.
And I think the show is going to be one of those shows where it's going to be mostly that audience. So it's going to for us feel like performing at the Soho House or one of those
Yeah,
things where it's
yeah,
like a very
yeah,
rich
totally, yeah.
crowd and they may not be like outward laughers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
there's like there's something
Yeah.
about performing in front of elites where
Yes.
it's just,
Yep.
it's hard to, and you can't do that thing of like, you guys are rich and dumb
No,
because that
they hate
never,
that.
they hate that.
Anytime
that
I'm
never
at Soho House,
works.
Ludlow House, that one that Ryan Reese runs.
Yeah, the Nomad,
something like that.
that's a
It
nightmare.
always
of a
backfires
show.
on me. You fuckers are looking at me like I'm a poor bit. Yeah, they are.
They're like,
Don't say it out loud.
Yeah,
You stupid.
yeah. There's like a visible pity that you feel in the air, and you're
Yeah,
like,
the girl's brows are furrowed.
I'm always so close to being like, I don't fucking need this, you know?
Me too. I get so frustrated. You fucking.
Yeah.
For me, it's the same when I'm at a college and the kids look at me like I'm
Yes.
like insane. I'm like,
Or the Cipriani, you ever do
Amazing.
the Casa Cipriani show
Yes,
too?
yes.
And in that
Oh my
show,
God,
they're
yes,
like, they're
yes.
just like,
yes, I
like that.
totally had a terrible time at that. One of
Yeah,
those.
they're all bad.
Yes.
But it's that thing of like, and then afterwards they come up to you like, that was the greatest show
Wonderful.
I've ever seen in
Wonderful.
my life. And you're like, tell it to your face.
It was wonderful.
Tell it to your face.
know.
It just
I
feels,
know.
it's so strange. But I think there is, you just kind of plow through.
Yeah.
And,
Oh yeah.
But Miami does rule. I do like Miami.
I really haven't been there.
Really?
Really haven't been there. I need.
Are
to
you a
get there.
beach person? Do you like the beach? A
You know,
Buffalo
I'm
person.
so white. I'm so white.
Yeah.
So it's very stressful. A
Yeah.
beach day is it's every 5 minutes new sunscreen.
Yeah.
You
I
gotta
should be
get
doing that.
every part of my body,
Yeah.
especially Miami. It's hot. hot.
It's hot, but it's like
But I like the idea of that hotel.
it's legitimately some of the nicest beaches I think on the planet.
Oh,
is
yeah.
those Miami. There's like
Yeah.
that white thick powder
Oh,
sand.
oh.
The water's like 80
I know,
degrees,
so nice.
and it just is like aqua.
So
it just
nice.
feels so good. And I'm like growing up in Long Island. I'm an ocean guy. I'm like, get me. I'll swim if I'm at the beach for 4 hours. I'll be in the ocean for like 3 of them. I'll
Right,
just be
yeah.
swimming it.
Floating
I
around.
only get out of the water just to like warm up and get
Yeah.
hot again to go back in
Oh,
the water.
best feeling ever.
I do not enjoy the like just sitting there sweating in discomfort. If I couldn't go in the ocean, I wouldn't go to the beach.
I'm not a big layer.
Ever.
Like,
Not
I'm
a
not a
layer.
layouter.
I do like when you get out of the ocean and then you dry off with the sun and your skin gets like shrink wrapped a little bit from the salt
yes.
and the
Love.
sun, and you're like, there's no beating
I
that.
love that.
People, these fucking lake people, no offense, these lake people that are like, oh, I love a lake. It's just, like it's fresh. You don't ever get the shrink wrap thing because there's no salt in the thing.
Am I a lake person? You said no offense.
Yeah, because you're a Buffalo. I just
Oh, yeah,
upstate,
lake area.
just the lake effect, Yeah.
Lake effects, no,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
I just feel like you're not. There wasn't an ocean by you growing up, so I assume you like lakes. Do you like lakes?
I like a lake life. Lake life, a boat. If someone has a boat.
Boat on a lake is
But
fantastic. 'Cause there's no waves.
I won't usually go to like a lake beach.
Yeah, lake
and, like,
beach. The
do
first
that,
like
'cause
7 steps
you
of
gotta
a
get
lake
to the middle
beach.
where the
yes,
water.
because the middle's always like
I
it's like
know.
brown leaves and
know.
mud.
Although I did go to Lake Tahoe this summer, and
Oh, yeah,
that
how
was
was that?
crazy.
I bet
Clearest
that
water I
sounds-
ever saw in my life.
Sure.
But that's a different kind of lake.
I do like-
than upstate New York.
I
Western
do
New York
like,
lakes.
yeah. I go to a lake that my uncle has a lake house in Virginia, which is like on this like giant lake, and I wouldn't think like Virginia's got this great lake or anything, but this coastline's amazing. And then we go out on the boat, and you're like, wow, it is pretty nice when you get out, and you're like, I don't even have to like shower. The lake
know.
just showered me off.
So
you know?
crisp.
That part's pretty cool, I guess. I'm turning on lakes.
Okay, now it's like
But lakes also have more mosquitoes. That's
I
the other
know.
thing. There's like
Yep.
bugs and things.
know.
And
I know.
oceans don't really ever have mosquitoes because there's too much wind.
And lakes are cold.
Yes, very cold.
Rivers
Very
are cold too.
Rivers are free. I mean, even like
Freezing.
when I went to the one in Austin, what's the big one in
Oh, the
Austin?
springs?
Yeah,
The
Barton Springs.
yep.
It's like
Chilly.
It's like 40 degrees. It's a
Chilly.
cold plunge.
I know. I went there last time.
It's crazy.
Chilly.
I also think Barton Springs is wildly overrated. It's
Well,
like
you can't bring food. So
yeah, and it's also like where are you gonna sit on cement or on the dirt?
I
Like
know.
it's
Grass.
just there's no
Grass.
like enough chairs.
I gotta. If I'm going to a body of water, I need to know I can bring a sandwich and
Yeah.
a bag of chips and a soda.
Oh, is there anything better than that? You get out of the ocean, it's hot, you feel good, your sun's shining off, then you have a nice sandwich with
I
some
know.
chips, and maybe for me, I'm like a little beer, a little high noon on the beach. Get out of here.
Like a stacked like turkey sandwich.
Yeah, an ice cold beverage. It's like
Fuck me
I
in
dare,
the ass.
I dare you to find a better
Literally,
time.
I
It's
dare you.
impossible.
I can list 12 things right now. But okay, so you're going to Miami. What's life? What's kid life? Tell us everything. Dad life. Does it change your
it's
comedy? Does it
great.
change your views? Does it make you more
Yeah.
conservative?
I
Are you
do-
looking into conspiracy theories now that you have a child?
Yes, well, I mean, I am actively investigating 9/11, but
Oh, good. That will really
was-
help his or
yeah,
her.
Yeah,
Oh,
him.
You have a boy. You have a boy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
He actually turns 3 tomorrow.
Oh, so you're
Yeah.
not really a baby.
Mm-mm.
Oh, toddler.
But it's very fun and it rules, and it does a couple things. Number one, it makes this so unimportant that it actually, I feel like you do better at it because you don't. There's something about kind of a lot of us can be guilty of, and I know I've been guilty of this before. The kid is like gripping too tight with
Yes.
this career,
Chill
and
out.
just like
Yeah.
and being like so. All right, what's the next thing? And I got to
Yeah.
do this, and that kind of makes it be like, oh, that's just nonsense stuff, Like that's like I'm worried about like my legacy and all these other things, and you're like that's the legacy. The kid is the and then there has never been a laugh that I've gotten since I've had him that has felt nearly as good as when he laughs. I mean,
Wow,
like a
that's so
sold out room
beautiful.
full of people. There isn't. It's like
Oh
a
my
different.
God.
It's on a different level. I also do think you get more.
So you're doing stand up for him? Oh.
Yeah. He actually, I brought him to the cellar with me for one of the brunch
That's
shows,
so cute.
and that was awesome.
Did Esty meet him?
Yeah, Esty met him, and
Did
he
she
was.
hold him?
She was sick that day,
Oh,
so she
okay.
was like, was like trying to
Hello,
talk to him.
baby.
Yeah. But he was my wife brought him downstairs, and he was like watching me from the door, from the hallway of the McDougal while I was on stage. And anytime I did an act out or made a silly face or a silly noise, he would be laughing, and it was very fun. It was very pure. It was making me laugh, seeing how much fun he was having. So that was cool. And then, but yeah, I also think like it does make you a little more emotional. I've definitely become way more empathetic towards parents. Like when I see like parents on the street, that whole thing of like you see a child screaming and crying, even if it's on an airplane or one of those things, and it's just like, you immediately go, I understand. I get the hell that like, you don't want them to be crying. I don't want them to be crying. It's not a bad parenting thing. It's just like sometimes it's like, so there is that. I definitely give a lot more grace to any parents that I see on the street, even if they're in the wrong. If they cut me off and then you see they have 2 kids in the back seat, you're like, you got way more going on.
Yeah.
Like that
I
kind
get
of
it.
thing.
Yeah.
So there's that. But it's also, I think it's really just made me not give a shit about a lot of the games of this that we have to play. I used to like worry about this too much,
Yeah. It takes you
So
out
that's
of it.
great. Yeah, in the best way. In the way of like
because worrying only makes things worse.
Yeah, and you get like laser focused on when you like if I'm coming into the city to do spots, it's like I'm like now at the times I do have to sit down and write, I'm way more focused. When it's weird, but for me when I had 8 hours, 9 hours a day of nothing to do until spots, I would somehow get less done than I do now because I'm a lot more structured
Locked
now
in,
because I was like,
smarter.
I got plenty of hours. I can I'll meander throughout the day and work on this. Now it's like I'm very structured.
What's your wife do?
She works at a university at
Oh, nice.
and she does like a facilities coordinator
okay,
kind
cool.
of a thing, kind
Yeah,
of
that's
job.
chill.
But it's like a chill 9 to 5, and then she gets to work remote a couple days, so that kind of helps. And granted, I will say I met my wife like before I did stand up, but like I feel like the perfect
Okay.
balance.
You met in college.
I feel like the perfect balance is having a 9 to 5 with that because you guys are on. I mean, it's probably hard to like get to know each other because you're on opposite schedules. But with another stand-up, it's like, aren't you guys always? I just feel like there's something about like, I would always. I feel like if I had, maybe it's just me projecting my own thing. Like if I feel like if I was dating a comedian, I'd always be like, okay, I got 3 spots this week. That's great. And then she'd be like, I have 9. I'm like, what the? Or if it's like, oh, you work in this club and they don't work me. Like, can you help me get in there? Can you? Like,
every boyfriend I've had who is in comedy has supported me like to no end.
Yeah.
And didn't get jealous.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But then why aren't you with any of them?
Well, I mean, it was only because I wasn't
They've
jealous
supported
of them.
me to no end. They've been fantastic, and they're all dead to me.
They're dead in real life too.
Yeah.
I guess it's only been like 2.
Isn't it suck too when there's like so many people in comedy that you're like I've only had good experiences with this person, and they seem like they're good individuals, and then you find out like a monster. Yeah. You're like, well, they didn't. Me.
His dick's in your ass.
Yeah,
He never touched me.
Yeah, there's so many bad people.
I think it makes sense because it's an inherently selfish career.
Yeah,
it's the most selfish. Aside politician, you can under the guise of I'm helping my
Oh
constituents.
yeah, politicians are. I
Stand-up
think
is
every single one is a monster.
1,000,000%.
But I do think that there are those things of like, people want you to have the same enemies as them. You know what I mean? So where you'd be like, oh, this person's my best friend. I'm like, well, this person actually stole a joke from them. And, and they fucking did this. And they actually this person that. And you're like, now what? Like, do you just take what I said and now start to resent that? Like, it's like, how do you?
I know. I try to, if someone says I like this person, I keep it to myself.
Yeah. Well, now that you're not drinking, you will keep it to yourself.
Oh, dude, everything's on lock. I have no more friends. I have like 3 people in my life.
I do feel like the longer comedy goes, the less. I don't think it's the less friends that I have. It's the more I realize that they were never friends to begin with.
Oh, that's
you know
beautiful.
what I'm saying?
Wow.
Where they're like, it's just with comedy. The problem is that we very rarely in an office job are you hanging out late night and drinking with a lot of your coworkers. And so there, you kind of fall under this. It's like, oh, I see this person every night because we perform in the same club, and we're drinking at night, and we're laughing and having a great time. We're friends. We're friendly, And then you realize you're like, I don't think this person's like never met my child. This person's never like called me to like see how it's going. It's always like, hey, who's that manager that you talk? Like, it's always it's a transactional like coworkers, And there's also nothing wrong with that, but there is that thing of, especially during COVID and everything, when everyone was like in their own isolation bubble and stuff, where you're like, oh, there's so many people you never heard from.
I know.
Go, oh, I thought we were friends.
Not friends.
And it's not even like a you. It just goes, oh, that was on me for totally having the wrong.
That was on me for us hanging out all the time and thinking we were friends.
Apologies. Yeah, and sending stuff in the group chat and all that other things.
Yeah, might be.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then once you start touring, a lot of people fall off too from your life because once you get out of the spot circulation of New York, it's I'm on my own.
Yeah.
I'm on my own little island out here.
And also social media doesn't help at all.
No, because social media has you thinking negative things about someone because their socials are annoying. And
Yes.
you're like, I fucking hate that. And
There's
then you see them
definitely-
in person and it washes away.
There's definitely people I like in real life and have a absolutely unforgivable social media
What
presence.
would you say annoys you about some people's socials without just outing them fully?
I mean, there's
Yeah,
some
this person
just
posted-
like cheese dicky kind
Yeah.
of stuff. You know what I mean?
I hate cheese
like,
dicky.
yeah.
Like overly emotional, like overly like something that
influencery or like just knowing who a person is, but then them pretending to be someone else online.
That's really
or
what it
just-
is, like
or like
that dissonance.
desperation, like
Yes.
like seeing the desperation in their videos. It comes across whether it's a clip or whether it's a front-facing thing or whatever. But I also resent people who they're like stand-up purists who go like, if you're a stand-up comic, you should only post like just your
Oh my God,
stand-up
I hate
clip.
those
no,
too.
No crowd work, no front-facing
I-
videos, no sketches. It's like, oh, so you're interested in dying poor?
you're like,
it's-
stop.
Yeah.
Stop saying all this from your high tower.
Yeah, of grandfathered
Yes,
into
because it comes off as insecure
desperately.
when you're already very established and you can just go on stage and do whatever you want. What are you doing talking about crowd work clips?
By the way, that's the thing. By the way, but twice. By the way, that is what people do now. If you notice, anytime someone has a special coming out, they start a comedy beef. Like they just
Right.
go in this scorched earth,
That's so
fuck the
true.
world tour, and then
Yeah.
everyone's like, "Who's this fucking asshole? I guess I'll watch his special
That's
just
so
to hate watch."
true.
It's like it's all fake.
I
It's not real. It's
know.
like you think Marin just happened to decide the weakest special was
Yeah.
like it was coming out, and that it was the last episodes of his podcast. That now is the time he wants to go scorched earth on and everybody in comedy that he
I
hates.
just realized I got.
Yeah.
I got.
See, and this is what. And now, when you have a special coming out, you got to pick an enemy.
I'm gonna go on every pod and say, I hate Mike Feeney.
Yeah. I don't know that that'll get the traction you're looking
I know.
for. I'm gonna make like a series of beefs when I have a special come out. I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna really take down most of the legitimate comics on the planet.
And like John Marco will post about like Schultz.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
They post about each other.
I was just talking to him about that. I was like, I asked him, I go, don't you have anxiety
right.
about that? Because I'm like, I don't like when people, especially people in comedy, like I don't like when I have enemies. I don't like people
Me
hating
neither, and I don't
me.
like reading comments.
It
and
gets
all.
me. Yeah, I mean the comments you're never gonna avoid. I mean you're on guest digital. There's no way to get away from those. But I do think there is a like when other comics like if you have another comedian who doesn't like you
Right.
actively, you're like
Publicly,
that
yeah.
sucks because you're like
Right.
you're gonna see that. So I said I go the whole thing you have with Schultz. Like, you're gonna see him. You're gonna run into him. And I go, don't you have anxiety about that? He goes, oh, I have terrible anxiety about that. He goes, I'm absolutely nervous all the time. I'm like, then why the f- are you doing it, man?
I know.
At least he said that. It's way more refreshing than if he was like, I don't give a f-. It's like, yes,
I
you
know.
do, because
Yes.
somebody's, it doesn't even have to be somebody of Schultz's, like, popularity. It could anybody, you know?
Yes. Yes.
It's just weird to be like, hey, man, you're talking
I
shit
know.
about me online. We know another comedian who also talks a lot of shit online, especially on Threads.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and they were talking about a famous comedian who is selling out theaters, who is more of a podcaster, but now does stand-up comedy.
yes.
And her husband works at the Cellar, and he walked up to him and was like, hey, man, like, you're like tweeting about my wife like all the time. Like, what's your fucking problem? You know?
my God.
And they like sat down and actually had to like hash it out. And of course, once people are face to face and call somebody
know,
out,
of
they're always
course.
like, well, no, I just mean like
Yeah.
it's my take.
Let's talk about someone else.
Yeah. They always kind of reveal it back. You're like, it's more.
If someone confronted, like I'm at the point where if someone thinks something came out, say I talk shit about Rogan,
yeah,
and and my whole thing was posting threads about Rogan.
right.
If he confronted me, I would I would say I said it because I don't like you. I'm not saying I don't, but
Wow.
I think you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to.
yeah.
If you're gonna be that,
Yeah,
you know,
the keyboard
you can't
warrior.
be like, oh, here's what I meant. You have to say, I said what I said.
You could do the Ronan, which is what
does he do?
Ronan talked shit about Rogan, and he
Oh,
was
yeah.
he's like, I'll never go on Rogan, that
Yeah.
guy, and then he went on Rogan, and then after Rogan, he started going. Now he does bits about talking shit about
I know,
Rogan again.
I
You're
love
like,
it.
I mean, God bless. You had a window there when
Yes,
you were on
yeah.
to challenge him
I
on
know,
whatever you
right?
want.
I know,
But
I know.
that is fun.
know.
Now Ronan's gonna text me, hey buddy, it's okay. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. We have this whole episode's gonna be. I'm gonna get a bunch of calls
where
and
we at?
texts
Yeah.
from people. Hey, where are we
Where are we
at?
at?
It's so funny,
Feeney, I thought
dude.
we were good.
We good, dude.
Has anyone ever confronted you about
Many
shit talking?
people.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say because I don't really shit talk on certainly on podcasts enough
yeah.
to where it's gonna be like a clip, you know. But I do think I've had people who have been like, hey, are we good, you know? But
I had someone text me once. I heard you were saying stuff about me. It hurt my feelings because I thought we were close.
Oh,
So
shit.
Good.
Now, did you stand your ground and go, I do think you
No,
stink?
I did. I said some bullshit. This was, pre Maddy with the fatty.
Yeah,
This was This was probably 2018 or something. I said I was in a bad place.
Yeah.
It came out. I was insecure. I think I literally said it was green room talk.
Okay.
I think I said green room talk.
That's so funny. You
Yeah.
went with the Trump locker room talk excuse.
Did.
That's what you did.
I think I was like, we all get caught up in the green room. You know
Guys
how it is.
being guys, you know how it is.
You know how it
Yeah. Before that, we were talking about grabbing her by the
Literally.
pussy, and
But also, like, the person who told you that should be apologizing too, because you're starting shit by saying that.
The starting shit is, but that's what there's so many of those.
Yes,
That's like
I know.
the infiltrators, the little spies, the
Yeah.
little like the comedy like little
Yes,
gnats
spies.
that they're
Yes. I know.
whatever those people are called, those little like undercover like I'm just
Moles.
gonna I'm
Yeah.
gonna everything up, and
Yeah.
it's just is so unnecessary. People love to talk shit.
What kind of, like, you also probably shit talking goes away in importance when you have a kid too?
Yeah, that's the other thing. This is like, because comedy is very much like a high school cafeteria.
Yeah.
Where it's like I have my group that I sit
Mhm.
with, and I'm cool with this group, and that group I don't really talk to, and that group I think is a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And like, and you just have your own groups, and then again, it kind of just puts it in perspective, like how stupid. That's the thing about comedy. Is like nobody. I always thought naively or not that comedy was a lot more of like a collaborative
Yeah.
experience, and I think was like the beautiful appeal of stand-up comedy is like I didn't get into this to be alone on the road at a funny
know.
bone in the middle of the country
I know,
by
running
myself.
a small business
Like
with like
yeah.
5,000
It's a social media manager and like
marketing
and like
director.
suitcases of merch.
Yeah,
like
merch,
I'm
clothing
not,
manager.
Yeah, like all of I'm like I got a Square app. I'm
Yep.
doing inventory. Like
Yep.
all of these things. Like I wanted to make funny shit with
too.
my funny friends, and having access to some of the funniest people on the planet is the best part of this,
Yeah.
and like collaborating. And I've made a lot of sketches and a lot of funny things with other comedians, but for the most part, every comedian's like, dude, I'd love to, let's do that, and then that's it. That's the last time you
I
ever
know,
hear. And they
I
just
know.
people don't want to like create, and nobody ever. If you're talking about like a show, right? If you're like, hey, like we got this idea, like if we were like riffing, we have this idea for a TV series and whatever. And let's say, imagine if TV was still being made. But if like, oh, we have this idea for a TV series, it's 25 years ago, and I go, let's take off like every Monday night and work on it until we get it. Like every single person I've had something like that with is like, well, I'm not taking off spots.
I mean,
I need that $40.
You literally,
yeah. And you're like, do you? Okay,
Yeah.
so you don't want to further your career.
Yeah.
That's where it gets hilarious. That's where New York City comedy has this brain disease of like stand up pure,
Yes.
and you just like perfect the hour and get as funny as possible. And you're like, how many people does that work for? Like,
I know, and I also
now,
feel like
especially.
pre-COVID, I was up every night,
Yeah.
6 spots a night.
Yeah.
Now it's like if I get up every night, my real life is seeping onto the stage
Yeah.
in ways that I don't want anymore.
Right.
And I think like I went to the UK over the summer. They have a totally different way of doing it. They're more like one-man show-y.
Yeah.
So it's more like the hour, and it's not like every day, there's a meet.
Right.
Like every night, it's more like you build this hour and you tour with it, and you don't have to be on stage every night.
I also think post-pandemic, it woke up everybody up to you don't need to be on stage multiple times a night. Like I think, 4 to 5 spots a week is like a good area if you can get there, or anything above that is like great. But I did 3 spots last night, and I was like, anything more is
Agreed.
excess.
Totally agree. Yeah.
Even by the 3rd spot, I was like, did I say this?
I'm
already?
exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the second 2 is like the sweet spot
Yeah,
for
me
me,
too.
But it's it just feels like New York has this brain disease where our comedians are so everybody thinks it's 25 years ago, and like everybody wants to be like Attell and Geraldo and
Yes.
Patrice, and you're like, these people
Dude.
never had to deal with the internet, and they
At
also
all.
have never had to. Some comedian was telling me that, I'll tell you who it was afterwards, and they said that they were at Chappelle's new club, and Chappelle was like giving them a pep talk, and he was like, hey man, like you gotta not, like, don't worry about social media, like just don't even use it, like literally, like. And I go, that is without, I said this in front of Esty, I was like, that is without question the single dumbest advice I've ever heard in my life from a guy who's one of the greats of all time. Where it's like, of course, first off, of course you could say that as you, and
You're Dave
also
Chappelle.
as a person who's is grandfathered in and doesn't have to do that.
Agreed.
But like to tell comedians who are not, like this comedian specifically is like not selling out on the road.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
they need, the internet is everything.
Agreed.
The last thing you should do is not, if you anything, take more time off of stand-up and focus on the internet. Yeah, it's like, that's what it is. You think you're going to get famous? Like this whole idea of like, oh, we're going to go in the cellar where they lock up our phones and no one remembers who we are and no one follows us on social media
and when you
afterwards.
Get out, the lineup's not on the website anymore.
And they go, who's that fourth guy? He was funny. You know, I hope I run into him again at some point in my life. Over. And you're like, all of these people, you go, we have to try and find this fucking way. And that is like, but then people, they trash LA. They're not that funny out there. And you're like, sure, but why do every time I go to the Comedy Store, all of the cars are like Jaguars and BMWs and Maseratis? Why are they?
Rich as fuck.
And we're taking the
Different
subway.
I know.
Yeah, and they're like, but we're funnier. It's like, cool. They're rich.
Who has the money?
Yeah,
those fucks.
Yeah, Austin people are like, Austin sucks. And you're like, I don't know. There's 3 of the most popular podcasts on the planet are in that area. You know what I mean? There are these like people making $20+ million a year. You're like, they're doing okay. I
know.
Think, you know?
I know. It's like when I got on Wild and Out, people would be like, are you embarrassed to be on there? Because it doesn't fall in the line of just stand up.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm like, no, I quit my job and now I have money. And
the amount of shit that I got from comics initially for making, when I would make those like welcome to videos of the cities that I would make, that was just like, it was just like a fun way for me. And it was also like my kind of comedy, like roasty and ball busty and like trashing a city, like making those videos that got me, like every single one was going viral. It was blowing up my social media, it was helping sell more tickets. And I still, every time I do a show, people are like, I saw you from that, you know. The amount of shit I got from like close friends in comedy, or just not even like shitting on me, but I mean they would just use it in conversation.
Like shade.
They would just like there was like a
that was wrong.
The longest drops in history. Go throw it again. Where's the shade one?
Here, let's do some shade. I think it was, or what about, I guess it was this, I guess shade. We shade you.
I guess that would be, yeah. That almost sounds like a 90s sitcom when a couple kisses.
I know, it sounds like when they kiss, doesn't it?
That's definitely what that is.
This might be. I suck at the soundboard.
I think that's just... They just linger so long. That's it. That should be the one that you use.
You just got to cut off
I don't think the soundboards... I don't think you suck at the soundboard. I think the soundboard options are not ideal. They're way too long. But, I mean, the delay on them, too. Can I say that?
There's a delay.
I saw you press it and put your hands back here, and I thought that you, like, panicked and didn't press it, and then it hit. All right.
Definitely a delay.
Yeah.
Definitely a delay. Now, Feeney, before we go, I want to know some quick things about you.
Okay.
What are we eating? What do you have for breakfast? We're doing quick rapid fire.
Okay.
Wait, was there something else you wanted to
say?
say?
No, I just like you changed your whole voice and everything got very serious. You're like, okay, before we go,
it's called a closing segment.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
We're doing Feeney's quick.
Feeney's
rapid
Funhouse.
Fire. Feeney's Funhouse.
Yeah.
Rapid fire. Breakfast. What'd you have?
Breakfast today, I had overnight oats with some blueberries, a spoonful of honey. I do the overnight oats with oat milk in there, and a yogurt, Chobani yogurt, which now apparently it gives you every kind of cancer and has forever chemicals. Right. And if you've eaten it once, you're already dead. And I've been eating that every morning for years. So, but
you're dead.
And then I made myself a nice, nice little cappuccino, a little espresso machine, get a little milk, hot milk, froth the milk.
Oh, that's lovely.
Life's good. Do a little Wordle, do a little connections.
Oh,
good way to start a day.
And what do you do? Do you morning pages? Do you journal in the morning? What do you?
No, I don't do that. I'm like a real. I find it very hard to be productive in the morning. I'm a slow into my day kind of a thing. I used to meditate a lot more than I do. Post-kid, it's hard to find like time to meditate, but I used to do that a lot. Now, I like try to get a little work done, but I feel like the majority of my work gets done after afternoon.
Yeah, you'll clock in for shows.
Yeah, kind of, or it's just like, okay, from 1 to 4 p.m., I'm like, just before I pick up my kid from school, I'm like, just fucking laser.
Yeah. And what was the last movie you saw?
One Battle After Another.
Oh, I saw that too.
It was goddamn terrific.
It was
Benicio del Toro steals the movie.
Delicious.
Steals the movie. Yep. Did you know this? Leonardo DiCaprio, his entire acting inspiration of that character was the dude from Big Lebowski.
Okay, yeah.
And now when you see that, you can't unsee it.
Totally
he's wearing a robe,
Bathrobe,
he's smoking with the clip, and he's like silly high. He's got his hair up in a little man bun.
He was funny.
He was so funny.
It had me wondering, is Leo funny IRL?
He's always been funny. He's been funny. He was really funny. Wolf of Wall Street, he was hilarious in there.
But like, and if he was in here, would he be
so
like
charming,
cracking jokes?
Yes, he would. I am a big DiCaprio guy.
Yeah.
I'm an apologist, dare I say, but he's so fucking just
He's
feels like
goated.
he's goated. He's cool. He just is. He's fantastic.
I think he has like Pacino. Like every movie's good.
Yeah.
Every
yeah,
movie's
yeah.
in good. Even if it's a bad movie, you're like, he was great in that.
Yeah, the only I could do without a little bit of the whole like save the whales things he goes on a little bit every once in a while.
yeah.
It's like, well then skip the private jet every
I
once in a while.
totally
You know
agree.
what I mean? Like, you don't
Totally
have to take
agree.
a private jet from LA to Malibu.
I
But,
totally
you know,
agree. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Loved it. Great movie. Everyone go see it.
What music are we listening to these days?
This is so fun. I literally just. What do you call it when you post a thread? Did you say I posted a thread about this?
I guess.
That
Or
sucks.
I threaded.
I threaded. I'll
Yeah.
never say that.
I know they got to work on
I don't
that.
even like threads. I don't even know who's on threads. Is threads even real?
I don't understand it. I think I've done it twice and I
Yeah.
didn't really get it. And there's
Yeah.
little side combos.
Because
you
no
can
one's
have.
on it. It's like it's just they make it signed you up for one if you
Yes.
have an Instagram.
Yeah, I
account.
opened my threads. I'm like, oh, I have 100K.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like,
Okay.
should I be utilizing
I know.
this? I just today on the train ride here, I kind of did not even a deep dive, but I just went and started listening to Paramore, and I'm like,
Nice.
I'm sorry to admit, they fucking rule.
Don't be
like,
sorry.
But
Everybody
like,
knows.
I'm sorry that I'm so late to that. And
It's
I've
okay.
seen them live at like Warped Tour in like
Mhm.
2006 when it was like Misery Business, like in
Yeah.
the very beginning. And
Yeah.
I've heard some of their songs since then. But I just went to Spotify, like their top hits or whatever. They have 1 billion views on like every one of their
Yep,
songs.
Yeah.
And I just put their top 10 in a
Mhm.
queue. And each one I was like, and this fucking
Banger,
rules, and
banger.
this rule. And her voice is the best. She has
Mhm.
such a great voice. And my friend, I remember my friend was in love with her in high
Mhm.
school. He's
She's
like,
cute.
I'm gonna marry her one day. He's
And
like,
he
he was
did.
like fully obsessed. No, he died of an
Oh.
overdose. But
yeah, okay.
but I think it was he was. But it's the Long Island way.
Yes,
But
it is. Yes.
had he not developed a crippling addiction, I think he might have had a chance, you know. But she's super hot. She's got a great voice. The music's good. They rock.
Mhm.
They rock. I always kind of dismiss them as like kind of like radio rock, but
Yes,
they
yes.
poppy.
No, right, yeah,
but
yeah.
but she's great.
Ain't it fun?
Yeah.
She's hot. She's
Yeah,
hot.
she's so
She
hot.
looks good too.
Her hair's always different colors.
Yep.
That's fun. You know
Yep.
that she's got some sort of mental illness. It's
Yep,
fun. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
BPD.
And she's got like she showed her spine on I think it was like on Fallon or something
Mhm.
like that. I don't know if that was like the cover of her album or
Was
something, but she has like all these like messed up neck vertebrae from headbanging all of the
Really?
years, and they were
Oh,
like, "You
wow.
got to stop headbanging," and she was
Oh.
like, "I can't stop
Hell
headbanging," and I was
yeah,
like,
bitch.
"What is that? The hottest thing anyone's ever said? What are you
shit,
kidding
I
me?
love
I
her."
can't stop headbanging,
Yeah.
even though it's gonna make you in a wheelchair in a few years." You're like,
That's
"Dude,
great.
I'll push you around," you know?
That's hot.
Yeah,
That's hot.
very hot.
Okay, so you're doing a lot of Paramore.
Yeah.
Do you listen to podcasts? What's your
I
podcast
do. I
intake?
cherry pick a lot. I'll
Mhm.
listen to like sometimes if
Certain
it's
episodes.
I mean, it's the end of the baseball season, so
Mhm.
Yankee podcast and stuff. But talking Yanks. But I'll also listen to. I love Conan. I love
Mhm.
Conan. It is a little guest dependent. But I
Yeah.
love when he's got a good. If it's like someone like him and Will Arnett or someone
Mhm.
that he can riff with, that it just feels like him and you know who's fantastic is him and Kevin Nealon together are like
Fire.
I'm
Yes.
crying
Love Kevin
laughing
Nealon.
because he just keeps
Yeah.
fucking with Conan
Yes.
and distracting him and interrupting him
Yep.
and insulting him, and it's
Yeah.
just my favorite thing to listen to. And yeah, other than that, I'm trying to think of like other podcasts that I listen to. I don't know. I don't really listen to like our friends
No,
podcasts.
yeah, me neither.
You know, it just is very strange. Once in a while, I'll listen to like if there's a good like deep dive that a friend does on some other like more interesting podcast, but I'm not like
Mhm.
I'm listening to Legion of Skank.
No,
You know, like,
no.
Yeah.
Maybe like sometimes Stav I'll throw on just because his
Sure.
laugh makes me like I could be funnier.
Sure. I
'Cause he
listened to an
laughs so much.
episode of the Regs last week though, and
Oh,
I was
Regs,
laughing.
yeah.
I was laughing
Regs is
very,
good.
very hard.
That's a good one.
Very, very hard.
Yep. And now you cook at home, right? You
I
cook?
will say this: years ago, like I think it was probably like, when I was a couple years into comedy, someone had told me that List and Norman, like they had mentioned me on Tuesdays with
Mhm.
Stories, so I downloaded it just to like hear what they were saying about me, and it was praise, it was nice, and then I listened to that podcast for like 5 years after that, purely
That's-
because I got. If you want me to listen to your podcast, just compliment me on
That's
your
so
podcast,
funny,
and then
yeah.
I listened to it, and then after a while, I faded away from it, but is that thing of like that's the number one way I'll listen. I'll
Yep.
listen if you're
Yeah,
talking
you
you're
bring
talking
me up.
nice about me.
You bring me up.
Yeah, you big me up. I'll be on there.
I'll give you a review.
Yeah. What did you ask?
You
What's
cook
the
at
next
home?
thing? My wife does like 95% of the cooking at this point. We used to both cook, and then like during the pandemic, she's Italian and she just went
Yeah.
from being like a good cook to like an
Leveling up.
unbelievable cook.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she's so efficient now. She like meal preps and she's got things like
Yeah.
ready to go, and we eat like healthier. I'll do a thing where if we're making like chicken cutlets, like I'll cook the chicken, she'll cook the other, like
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
accoutrements of the rest
Yeah,
of the
so if I'm
dishes.
going to dinner at the Feeney's,
Yeah.
what's on the menu?
I think we like decently eat on the healthy side. I mean, she'll do like a Sunday sauce every once in a while with handmade meatballs and stuff like that. That's like kind of pasta and all that. That's very great. But on a weekly day, I mean, we'll eat like I think yesterday she'll make like like a turkey meatballs maybe in the air fryer with some extra like little rice, little fresh, always like 2 vegetables usually.
Yeah.
And then or she'll make like chicken thighs, or there's a bunch of like we eat pretty clean.
pretty whole.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not like a lot of deep fried
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
But we eat pretty well, and she's a fucking great cook. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
fantastic.
Definitely helps.
The
Yes.
benefactor of
Oh,
that.
yeah. And my last question, you've been looking jacked lately.
Hey,
What
thanks
are we
so
doing?
much.
I see you at Runyon Canyon in L.A.
Oh yeah.
go-
I forgot we
like,
saw each other there
"You're
too.
jacked."
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're like,
that's
"Yeah."
the whole reason I went on Runyon, and now that's the whole reason I'll listen to this podcast going forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'll listen back to this and go, "Wow, man, it was very
Maddie
complimentary."
said I was jacked.
I started doing jujitsu when I
Really?
moved, and so that's been like
What?
three.
You
and
go into a studio?
Yeah. I
You
go to
fighting
like a
people?
Henzo Gracie
Who do
place.
you fight? Kim
Yeah.
Congdon?
Yeah. I just choke out women.
Yeah.
It really gets that
It's
need
wonderful.
out.
It's the only place you can.
Yeah, it's the only place that you have to pay money to do it, but it feels fantastic.
Worth it.
And they're not allowed to scream. No, but and you can ignore the tap if you want.
Really?
But what happens is mostly it's like me getting absolutely dominated by like firemen, because I go during the afternoon, 12 o'clock, where it's all
Yeah.
firemen and off-duty cops.
Yes,
so
yes,
I'm
yes.
getting just like these
Yeah,
strong,
Bayside, yeah.
thick-necked fucking dopey dudes.
thrown
and,
down.
Yeah, getting destroyed by most of them. And they're all like blue, like purple. I'm a blue belt, but they're like purple belts and brown belts and black belts. Just absolutely like body me. But I've been doing it for like, probably like 4 or 5 times a week for 3 years now.
Do you go up at
so-
Skankfest or?
Yeah, I fought
you go
last
this
year.
past
That was
year?
my
Yeah.
first time ever like
yes,
doing
I
a
remember.
competition.
Yes.
I choked out Sam Tripoli in like
Yes,
18
that's right,
seconds.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's the
yes, I
greatest.
remember
It's
that,
the
yes.
greatest feat of my
Yes,
entire
yeah.
life. Just got him in a guillotine lock in front of everybody, and
Yeah.
people. It was like a like a gladiatorial.
Yes,
Everyone's
absolutely.
like chanting.
Yeah,
It was,
go,
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing how fucking
Try
juiced
saying the
up it
N-word
got
in a
me.
clip again.
Yeah. It was fantastic. So I do that, and then otherwise I've just decided this year I'm going to. I always get hurt a lot when I did my whole life. Was like I would try to do P90X. I would do it for like 65 days, and then I would get really hurt, and then it would set me back for like 3 months, and then I would start working out, and I can be bench pressing, and then I'd have a shoulder surgery, and I'd be out for a year, and I just keep getting hurt. So what I decided to do this year, because I talked to my friend who's a personal trainer, he's like, you have to work out every single day. And I was like, well, that's crazy, because my muscles will be sore, I'll be in too much pain. And he's like, once you work out every day, you're not going to get sore anymore. I was like, that doesn't even make sense. And then I've started exercising. I've exercised every day. I've exercised, I think, about 300 days this year.
Nice.
And every day, every single day since January like 11th or something of this year. And I count, by the way, I have a low threshold for what counts as exercise. Like if I'm on the road and they don't have a gym, I'm like 100 push-ups, 200 sit-ups. Like just do that.
Yeah.
And that's like, that counts. I don't have to like do an hour and a half at the gym.
Con
Or
body.
not, obviously, yeah. Just like do whatever. Yeah, just prison bod work, prison workouts.
yeah.
And I just do that. And I feel like, and then I have dumbbells at home
Yeah.
that I'll like just do like 50-pound dumbbells and stuff. But I went from like curling 25 pounds to curling 50 pounds,
Wow.
for curling 50-pound dumbbells just from mostly body weight
Yes,
stuff.
yeah.
And jujitsu makes you a lot stronger because a lot of pulling and things like that. So that's basically all I've been doing. I don't really diet. Like I said, I eat kind of clean, but I eat ice cream every night. And I
But
have
you're not doing protein.
Oh, I do. I
macros.
drink. I have creatine, and I do protein, like whey protein.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't count my calories.
Yeah.
I definitely eat like more carbs than I should. Like I said, I eat ice cream and drink alcohol just about every single night. So I basically exercise so that I can offset
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And I will say, since I've started exercising every single day, have not been injured since.
Yes.
So.
Knock on freaking wood.
Yeah, that's definitely not real wood. But
No,
yeah,
It's a gas digital.
it's
That's a
like-
gas
yeah.
digital body brain wood. Now,
Honey brain wood. Yeah, it's a mushroom composite.
it's got testosterone in it.
Yeah.
What can we expect from you in the next year, 5 years, 10 years? What's the Mike Feeney plan?
I think you'll see a rocket ship of success. If you just look up into the skies, you'll hear the sonic boom.
Absolutely.
Follow that sound. I would come see me on the road, MikeFeeneyComedy.com or punchup.live/Mike Feeney for tickets. And that's fun. Give me your email, you little creep, and your zip code. I'll find you.
Motherfucker.
I am Mike Feeney on social media. I do crowd work clips. I do sketches. I'm trying to gear up to do another special soon. Just need to do the other thing that we have to do, which is just front all of the money to create our own special. That's another fun thing that people
but
like.
on a down payment.
They're like, people are like, when are you putting out another comedy special? I was like, I guess when I have an extra $25K,
Literally.
like
Plus.
lying or burning a hole in my pocket, you know, just to put it on YouTube for free and make clips from it that I won't see money on Instagram. But hopefully it comes back in touring.
Hopefully.
But then I also have, you can check out season 1 of my podcast, Co-Host Wanted, which every week I interview someone to be the permanent co-host of the show. Maddy Smith was on it. It was a fantastic guest.
Fun as well.
Unfortunately, I don't know that it was. We're still in the deciding factors of like who we're
I've
going
been
to
waiting on the
decide.
edge of my seat.
I understand it's a long process, and I do appreciate your patience. But I feel like all the good jobs you do have to wait a little longer for. You don't want to rush to any sort of.
I appreciate
opinions,
you
but
saying that.
Check those out on YouTube.com/Mike Feeney Comedy, and that's it. Thanks for
and we'll see you at
me.
Skankfest.
Oh yeah,
in a couple weeks.
I'll be there drinking. Now this is going to be tough for you. I feel like New Orleans.
I know.
Here we go. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute.
So I did go to Dublin this summer. I did have a couple guineas.
Okay.
And when I've
you
gone to
go.
weddings this year,
Slept
where
with Italian guys?
I had a couple
Funny.
guineas.
Yeah.
Had a couple guineas. Made love to those guineas.
Uh-huh.
And then I went to weddings and I drank a little bit. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I think the further away I get, the less romantic drinking
Yes,
is.
100%.
Yeah,
But you're like,
so-
there's a place. You ever go to? Have you been to New Orleans?
Yes.
Have you drank in New Orleans?
Yes, I've had like the hurricanes.
Yeah.
and
Have you been to the Aaron Rose?
No.
That's the place
No.
that if you're gonna come back for at least one drink, I'd like to go with you there.
Okay, yeah.
It's they invented the frozen Irish coffee.
Okay, down.
So it's just like
Yeah.
I barely finished it. I was like frozen. I'm out.
I like Sagalo.
Yeah.
Hey, we're doing another. All right.
Yeah. Frozen Irish coffee. They're delicious. They're open at like 8 a.m. and it's a good way to just start your day, slingshot you into a fun time. So I'll be drinking there. I might fight again. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna fight. I don't know if I'm gonna fight in jiu-jitsu. I'm gonna have a fight there.
Yeah, we're gonna have a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's have fun.
I probably
Let's
will.
have fun.
Yeah. Just because,
Yeah.
I mean, I did it last year in Vegas and just smoked a lot of weed and I probably could have had a couple beers.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so-
I get a little strange now on too much weed around the Skankfest
I
crowd.
be thinking too
feel-
much.
Yeah, I be thinking too
Like,
much.
I was telling them last week, like every time I go on Skanks and I smoke one of Lewis's fat things, I'm like,
I
I'm out for
I
an
don't
hour.
talk. Yeah, I
Yeah.
end up watching the podcast. I'm like, this is
yeah,
actually.
I'm watching myself.
Yeah,
I'm like looking at myself. I'm like, what did you
I'm
say? to
cotton
this?
mouth. Yeah. It's like, was I on camera when they said the N word?
Yeah,
like,
me too.
Yeah, how
me
did I
too,
react?
Me too. I'm getting fired from Wild Out. Yeah. I'm gonna like a whole compilation. Maddy Smith is complacent.
Oh yeah, so her silence is a choice, you know.
Yeah.
But I see all of that. It's so funny. I'm the same exact. I had somebody at Skankfest get so mad at me. They were talking shit to another comic that got back to me. Where they're like, oh, it was like one of your biggest fans who now hates you because I was on. She said that I blew her off at Skankfest,
Right.
and Cannon was with me. He's like, oh yeah, he's like, she like called your name out and you just like kept walking, and I was like, when was that? He goes, oh, it was the night we were on acid.
Come
I go,
on.
I was on acid. So I even reached
on.
out to the person and I was like, hey, just a heads up, like I told this person that you hate me, but like, just to let you know, I was on hallucinogens at the time. I didn't even know where I was, and I certainly have no memory of that, and I wouldn't have big timed you or whatever the f you thought. And then they left me on red. Now is that now hit that shade button. Yeah. Now is that a thing where you just go I took the time out of my day to make you feel better and you left me on red.
And that's when you go, let them.
Yes.
Let them.
I dare you to come try to talk to me at Skankfest this year.
Because I'll remember your face,
And
motherfucker.
now I'll definitely big time you. I'll just mush your face.
Yep, that's right, motherfucker.
This is the Enemies podcast
I
with
will
Maddy
murder
and
you.
Mike. That's
Yeah,
our new podcast.
Yeah,
This
bad
is great.
enemies. We had a great time.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
This is fun. I always feel like we have a good time.
I know we're
out.
very similar. Divorced
Yes, very
parents.
Irish. I mean, look at this on camera. I mean,
know.
this is like
Cousins.
we could be filming this in
Cousins.
Dublin right now.
Oh,
and
we could be
people-
filming in my cousin Mike
Lovely
Feeney.
Connemara. Yeah.
Michael Feeney and Madeline Smith. Matty, what a fatty.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week in the Madhouse. Thank you again. Peace.